Yes, my people, we're back again for the next topic we're here to cover, chart patterns. So we briefly covered candlestick patterns. We're going to be moving on to chart patterns. So this is different. It has a different way of presenting itself. So a candlestick pattern can be like 1 to 3 candlesticks, maybe even 4 in some patterns, you know. But on chart patterns now, this is a whole bunch of candlesticks grouped together to actually create a pattern on the charts. Now for this video, I'm going to keep it very, very simple, and I'm only going to go through the patterns that are very easy to identify and that repeat themselves over and over again. So I'm just going to get my laptop set up so I can start showing you guys what I mean. Okay, so let's see. We're on the charts right now. And so yeah, like I said before in the candlestick video, so if you watched that or if you didn't, we covered candlestick patterns, and this went over some of the patterns that repeat themselves over and over again inside of the markets. So for example, if I just do this quickly, we've got this one, we've got an engulfment candlestick pattern. That was one pattern that we covered. Now with chart patterns, to make it simple and easy, I'm going to, this was the tool I was looking for in one of the other videos, but I couldn't find it. So I managed to find it now. Alright, so the 3 chart patterns that we're going to be looking at is, wait, hold on, I need to keep drawing on. Yeah. Click that. So let me get them drew out first. Let me get them drawn. So this is one of them. I don't know why I've clicked it again. So I was just making it more difficult for myself. That's the next one, and then the other one. Boom. So yeah, these are the chart patterns that we're going to be covering in this video. Very, very simple. Over here, we've got the spell. That's another thing I've noticed. Every time I try and make one of these videos, like people around me just try and, yeah. People around me just want to just interfere, fam. Walk around, bang doors, like. But yeah, the videos are still gonna get made anyway, so. So these are the 3 patterns that we're going to be looking at, that we're going to be covering. And these are chart patterns. So the first one is head and shoulders. We've got the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder. The next one is the M pattern. So it's just a peak formation high, a retest of that peak formation high to then drop all the way back down to create an M. And then this is an A top or peak formation high. This is also classed as a double top as well. So peak formation high is when the market just goes up to a certain level and then completely reverses from that level. These are the 3 patterns that we're going to be looking at today. Now, I just want to redraw the head and shoulders pattern because what it mainly looks like is something like this. There we go. And that way I can actually get a better view of it. So yeah, that's what the head and shoulders pattern mainly looks like. This one, forget this top one that I've drawn out. Now the significance in this one that I've drawn out is we have structure. So in the head and shoulders pattern, we move higher first, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then lower low, breaking structure for then the pump and then the dump. And then that pump and dump is that last shoulder to be formed. So I'm gonna go down to like one of the smaller time frames and just kind of show you guys examples of this appearing on the charts. So let's go on a 30-minute time frame. So already I can see head and shoulders pattern. If I put my daily sessions on, and I'm pretty sure we did cover this in the last video I did, trend lines. Yeah, I did cover this little area right here. So as you guys can see, we have price moving up higher on the Wednesday throughout the gap time and then the start of the New York session into the close of the day. And then Asia, we move higher again. London puts in a lower low, pump and dump. So we can see the head and shoulders pattern right there. Let me get my drawing tool. Where is it? Highlighter. So you guys can see that right there. It's clear for you guys to see. This is on the 30-minute time frame. And this head and shoulders pattern formed over 2 days. So Wednesday, New York session, and then Thursday, Asia, London, and then New York. So this is a chart pattern. A candlestick pattern, again, we covered that. So this is a chart pattern. Chart pattern is a group of candlesticks. So if we were to count how many candlesticks this was, which is I'm not gonna do, but you guys can see it formed over 2 days. So the pattern itself took 2 days to form, and then you will look to get your trade on that last shoulder. Now, one thing I just do want to talk about is what this is called as well. This isn't just called the head and shoulders. It's also called a 3-peak formation or triple top. So the double top, which is the M pattern, looks like this. And then the one that I'm covering right now, which is the head and shoulders, can sometimes look like this. So you can create like a crown, you know. It's 3 peaks, peak 1, peak 2, peak 3, the 3-peak formation or triple top. This is a double top or M pattern formation. So yeah, I'm just gonna scroll through price and see if I can find more examples for you guys to see here. So I found another example right here. It's very clear for me to see. So this example starts on Monday. So you can draw a line on Monday's high. Price moves up on Monday. Tuesday, price moves down but stays inside of Monday's range. And then on the Wednesday, price continues to move up throughout Asia and London. And then in the gap time, we create that last peak. So again, this, looking at it, if I go on the 1 hour time frame, it's very clear to see the double top formation. So you see top, top, and then reverse. So this is an M pattern. This is an example of an M pattern. Let's keep going through price and seeing if we can find more examples. One thing I do also want to point out to you guys is anything you see on the upside, you can see on the downside. So if we're looking at buying opportunities, the triple top or the head and shoulders pattern will be inverted, so it will look something like this. It will be inverted to create an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and I can see it appear right here. So we have Tuesday going down for shoulder 1, Wednesday to create the head, and then Thursday we go into consolidation. We form the last shoulder in New York session before blasting off. So again, that's the head and shoulders pattern, but on the buy side, flipped, reversed, inverted. You guys can see that right there, 3 peaks. Let's see if I can find any peak formation examples. So this right here doesn't look like a peak formation, but it looks like an M pattern. Yeah, so this is an M pattern on the day. So Monday is high, and then in Asia session, price pushes up, create peak 1, push down, push back up to that high for peak 2, to then follow through all the way down. So that's an M pattern. So yeah, and if you continue to go through price, you'll be able to see where these formations actually appear. So I can see an inverted head and shoulders right there, peak 1, peak 2, peak 3, before we reverse all the way up. So yeah, go through the charts, guys, and pretty much look for these patterns, the ones that I've outlined in this video. They're the most basic ones that repeat themselves over and over again, and you'll see how they have a huge significance in the markets. Like